As of now, we know very few details about the story of Dying Light 2, but we do know a few of the choices and characters we're gonna have an impact on, as well as a general synopsis for why Aiden enters the city of Villador. And by the way, this video is made before the PC Gaming Show event, so keep that in mind as we keep going further into the video. Aiden's goal from what we know is to search for his lost relative, most likely his father or even a sibling, being his sister or brother or whatever, while trying to reconnect the city and search for a cure. Techland has revealed to us a few of the many missions we'll have an opportunity to take on, like the mission to turn on the water supply for the survivors of the city. But today we have another mission to take a look at called Getting Stronger. I assume this mission is centered around the early sections of the game with the Night Runners, where we travel through the hospital and across the city heights. We can see here that this mission is a main story quest with the recommended level being 8. The current objective is to follow Abdul, who's a character that from my knowledge hasn't been revealed to us as of yet. At the bottom we can see our rewards for completing the mission. The image quality is too poor to make out what it could be, but they look like pipes of some kind with slots to the side of it being where we could see our weapon mods. And now on to what the mission is about. The summary is stating Aiden and Hakon reach the bazaar, which is a Middle Eastern market. Unfortunately, the guard wouldn't let Aiden through because he doesn't have a device called a biomarker. Luckily, Hakon has a backup. Not sure if the rest says backup plan or backup biomarker, but we'll find out for ourselves eventually. But what we can take from this is this marker location is most likely a safe zone. If Aiden doesn't have his biomarker yet, it could mean this is one of the game's first missions, especially this is when he first enters the city. But for all we know, Aiden's just trying to pass between different zones. The scene when Aiden is turning could be when Hakon gives him a biomarker since it's absent from his wrist, but it's hard to tell what prevents the infection this time around, so it's not like that would really help him. Somehow it leads to Aiden and Hakon searching the hospital for something, which is where they split up or at least are chased by volatiles. And the hospital also could be where we see the infected witch, as the room has that same green tint, with the background containing many hospital-looking aspects. In the scene where Aiden is turning, the background matches the rest of the hospital, so let's just say this happens near the end of the mission. Also, the rest of when Aiden is turning looks to be in a completely different section of the game, as Aiden is now in an area overlooking the city, plus he doesn't have his biomarker like in the scene before. When he's turning, he looks to be alone, so maybe Aiden knew he was turning and went to the hospital to find something to help, running into the volatiles and then Hakon, possibly being his introduction to the game. Though I'd say Hakon is in earlier sections of the game due to the scene on the roof where Aiden and Hakon are running, where you can see the biomarker isn't there yet. Maybe for whatever reason the biomarkers are located in the hospital, or like I said, Hakon may just have a backup, because when Aiden is turning he has the biomarker, but the rest of the hospital section it's absent, unless this is just a completely different section of the game. The hospital area in the mission summary might not be connected at all, as we may not get our biomarker until a decent way into the story. Maybe the city area we don't have our biometer in is near the intro section of the game where we can explore, then get our biometer, and then go explore all the other regions. So it's kind of like the area where we get used to our mechanics maybe. Because if I remember correctly, Techland stated there's a beginning section of the game where you'll learn the mechanics and then can explore the rest of the world, but don't quote me on that. It will be a scenario that makes sense though, as getting our biomarker will be somewhat like the key for the game to open up. And anyways, I don't want to drag this out, so I think I'm going to end it here. I think you get the point. That's going to be all for today though, so feel free to like the video and subscribe and stop by next time.